Hello and welcome to the official NoN-eSports channel. Today we have in the top right of Daybreak our non-player ForsakeNXE, and his opponent is the Orange Zerg Maestro. His opponent in the SC2 Improved Weekly. This is the semi-final game, so I guess the winner of this will be moving on to the finals and will be guaranteed top 2. So it looks like Maestro having a stream up. Hopefully he's not doing any kind of stream sniping, anything like that. We saw in the first game on Cloud Kingdom, Forsaken just doing relentless Marine Marauder medevac pushes constantly throughout the game, dealing really well with Maestro's mass amount of Banelings and Zerglings and doing a lot of splitting. And Maestro really suffered from not having Infestors, so we'll see if he decides to put more Infestors into the mix, and we'll see if Forsaken is able to deal with that if Maestro decides to do that. I suspect that Forsaken will be trying the same sort of thing, going for a Marine Marauder heavy play. Seems to be what he's very good at. I don't know what his tank play is like, but you know what, if you're good at a certain build and that's where your comfort zone is, for a semifinal match you should definitely do it. No reason to take any huge risks. Maybe if you win one in a best of 3 and then you have that second game to kind of take a chance, you can do it then. But I don't think we'll see any of that out of Forsaken. And Maestro, of course, will be going for very standard play. He's going to be getting the hatch first, and then he's going to be getting his spawning pool up, and then most likely a gas. Very common thing in TvZ, or ZVT I should say. We have a drone coming up, drone scout. He's going to walk right in and be very pleased to see the barracks there up on the high ground. He's going to be very pleased to see no gas as well as that orbital. And I think he knows that a command center is going to be going down here pretty shortly. Actually, what just lifted? Oh, supply depot. Right. And so there's the CC. So, command center after barracks, very common. Looks like the drone will not be able to spot the command center. I don't think he did. No, he did not. However, this Overlord could fly up and spot it if he wanted to, but it might get picked off by a Marine. I don't know what it would take. I imagine if he floated it here, then he could float it out here and it would be fine. But this is kind of a prime position for this Overlord because Marines can't spot it from here unless they have a medevac or something giving vision to it. So that's kind of a good place to spot whether or not an attack is coming out. And so he knows it's safe, and he doesn't have to worry about the fact that he went for hatchery first. And he's got his spawning pool up now. He's not getting the gas quite yet, so maybe he's going to be going for a fast third, or he's just going to be droning really hard. Terran player going to be moving the SCV up to the third. He could just be to spot it. If he sees it go down, he might throw down a bunker or something like that and send his Marines across the map, as that is another possibility. So Queen coming out for Maestro. I don't know why I said quick third. He's got to get his Queens up and running. And once again, Forsaken going for this 3 racks double gas sort of deal that works so well. I imagine he'll be putting down his eBay here pretty soon. And then just working on his upgrades, getting that combat shield. He doesn't have the tech lab quite yet. This is about the same time, I believe. The tech lab going down now, and then the engineering bay will follow shortly afterwards. Pretty common strat, and this is actually a very cool place to put it, as you have just enough room for your Marines and Marauders to escape, and you can put a bunker right there. I don't think there's a hole there, but I don't... Actually, if there is, he could just put down a reactor, which would work just fine. And Maestro once again going for the 6 Queens, so we'll see if his creep spread is a little bit better. That's kind of the main advantage of having 6 Queens when there's no kind of early Hellion play coming out. So he really wants to be putting down those creep tumors. He has 1 on this Queen that he could be putting down. He could be spreading these out. He doesn't have to worry about, you know, efficiency that much. As long as there's a large number, he'll have just fantastic creep spread. And so I love this, him putting down tons of them. He can have 2 going up here, you know, a few going over here, and then he can even have some going over here, which a lot of Terran players might not check around this spot for creep tumors. In the meantime, Forsaken just taking the watchtowers with some Marines. He's going to have a lot of vision. He's going to know if any kind of early 2-base all-ins are coming out. But I don't think that's going to be the case for Maestro. He has actually quite a bit of gas right now. He's taken all 4 gas, so maybe we'll see Mutalisk play. That's kind of the most common thing when you take that much gas. And he's getting his double Evo chamber, so he might be going for kind of a Zergling Muta play on 2 base. However, we have a little Marine force moving across the map. I don't know if Maestro spotted it with his Overlord or not. It's going to be trying to deny some creep. Unfortunately for Forsaken, there are 4 queens here, and the 4 queens should fare pretty well. None of them have a transfuse, but if his micro is fairly decent, he can do a lot of damage to these Marines. However, the Marine swinging over to the 3rd base of Maestro, and he will be able to move up and deny some creep there. I think this is interesting. This is kind of the place that matters less if there's creep. I think the front is a little bit more important. And so he's going to be moving up, seeing these 4 queens, and I guess deciding not to engage. That's a good decision by Forsaken. He doesn't really want to engage those 4 queens. Might be able to pick one off, but he would lose a lot of Marines in the process, and now all of them have transfuse, so that is... it's going to be too dangerous. And now a ton of Zerglings coming out at this time. Zergling speed just about to finish. He really needs to get these Marines home. They could very easily get picked off by these speedlings if they get a very nice surround. 1-1 also almost finished for Maestro. His upgrades are just fantastic. But Forsaken's going to have his +1 attack finished. He's starting that +1 armor, and his stim will be done shortly afterwards. And here, no, not yet. He's going to be putting down the 2nd eBay as well as the armory pretty soon. He's getting that starport up as well as his 3rd base. So this is pretty much the exact same build as we saw in game number 1. It works so well. So the thing that has to vary is Maestro. What is he going to do in response to this? He's taking a 3rd base, which is spotted by Forsaken. So Forsaken knows that there are no 2-base all-ins coming in, so he can very safely move across the map, take this watchtower, and just kind of do some things with his Marines and Marauders, scout around, try to get some intel on what Maestro is doing. And try to deny creep spread. That's kind of the big thing that Forsaken needs to do, but I guess not against Maestro. Look at this. The creep just not spreading at all. It's getting a little bit up onto this 3rd area. It'd be nice if he could connect it around. But still, he should be pushing a few of these creep tumors out this way. He should be pushing a few of them up here. You really want that creep spread to be better. At the 12-minute mark, I believe you could have it all the way to these rocks if you're constantly thinking about that and constantly doing it. And there goes the 2nd eBay and the armory. Going to be finishing up the eBay a little bit earlier than the armory. He could have timed that a bit better to where they would finish around the same time. And that would allow him to, of course, start that +2 immediately. But wants to make sure he has enough gas to get these medevacs out, only producing 1 at this time. A little bit low on minerals, so he's going to be floating that 3rd base down to his 3rd and putting up some bunkers and supply depots. This is actually a great little wall. You have these depots to buffer the bunker even further, and Zerglings really can't surround well, and if they want to get around to the bunker, they have to swing down through here, and they take a lot of hits either way. So, very nice placement by Forsaken, leaving just a little bit of gap there in the back, and now he's going to be moving out with his little Marauder Marine medevac push. Ooh, picking off some Banelings would be huge, managing to get 1 and softening up a few of them. That's going to be very important. Picking up another, nice. But a few more are morphing. He's going to be denying some of these creep, and here we go. Once again, the Marauders forward, the Banelings moving in, but the Marauders just taking so much damage, and now there's only 1 Baneling left, and that's not going to be very good against these Zerglings, and here comes the Mutas. Mutas, not a good choice against this very bio-heavy army, because Marines are so good against Mutas. The Zerglings swing in, a very nice Baneling hit, but will it be enough? The medevac's going down to these Mutalisks, but look at the Mutalisks crumble at the force of the Marines. The Marines moving forward, some nice transfuses going down. He's keeping these Queens alive, but will they go down? Yes, 2 goes down. The 3rd goes down as well. The Mutalisk coming in and getting completely destroyed, as well as these Zerglings, and Forsaken having an incredibly cost-efficient attack before finally losing the rest of his Marines and Marauders. If we look in units lost tab, that is the tale. Just like 2,500 minerals over his opponent. It's just so good for Forsaken. And now he has this 3rd base, which is completely safe. He's going to be building this sweet little barracks wall which he can afford to do, and that'll allow him to pump out even more Marines, even more Marauders at a time. My goodness, 5 barracks at once. This is like the coolest wall ever. 5 barracks, 3 supply depots, and then a bunker. This wall will never go down. Maestro would lose so many banelings doing that. And it looks like 2-2 is about a fourth of the way finished for Forsaken, but that's not going to stop him. He's going to continue to push forward with these little Marauder forces. Just this relentless attacking is just so strong. He's also got his turrets up because he saw those Mutalisks, but the Mutalist play is over. I mean, there are 4 Mutas on the map right now. He doesn't really have the gas to produce anymore. He's producing 2 more, but look at this. These oh man, but the Banelings coming in and doing a lot of damage. Oh, that was actually really good by Maestro, using the Mutalist to kind of bait the Marines forward to thinking it's okay, and then pulling him back and sending the Banelings in and crushing the Marines, and now he can just pick off all of these medevacs, and he knows that medevacs was the reason he lost game number 1 and what he had such a huge difficulty with. And so these Mutalisks are basically entirely for the medevacs. Unfortunately for Maestro, Mutas aren't really the best way to deal with medevacs. The best way is kind of infestors. Just fungal growth them, and because they clump very easily, they'll all die. So look at this. One of the Mutalisks going down, a second one going down as well. They crumble so quickly to the Marine force, especially with this medevac reinforcement. So Forsake is going to be taking an early 4th base. He knows he's ahead. He knows he's fine army-wise. So he's going to be attacking at the same time. Some Banelings coming in and not getting any good hits. Some great splitting going on for Forsaken. Very few Marines dying to these Banelings, and so Maestro's going to have to pull back. The Mutalist trying to come in and deal with these medevacs, but they just can't because there's so many Marines here. Oh, and it looks like Forsaken is going to be pulling back a little bit, clumping a little bit too much, and a lot of his army dying to these Banelings. And, oh man, a few more Marines dying. That was one of the lesser good engagements, but man, Forsaken's macro is so incredible. Hitting with another Marine Marauder force. Maestro is just having such a hard time keeping up with this. He's having to constantly build Banelings, and uh-oh, he sees that the Banelings are morphing. He'll be able to pick off a lot of them before they're finished. A few of them going down at this time. The Zerglings coming in to deal with this and getting not a good surround. Forsaken just so good at keeping all of his units back and forcing Maestro to have to run away. And there's a little bit of a surround, but those units were pretty stemmed and weak already. The Banelings coming in and doing a little bit more damage. The medevacs healing stuff up, but gosh, these splits and reinforcements from Forsaken dealing with everything just fine. Only 1 Baneling left, so he will have to run away. These Mutalisks not really doing anything at all. The medevac count is still pretty high. We can see it is at 9 at this time, with 2 more on the way. He's just non-stop building those and continually building 2 Marauders and 12 Marines at a time. But uh-oh, Forsaken almost getting surrounded there. A little bit risky. Really wants to deny this 4th base, but there's nothing mining there, so it should be fine. Some well, great pickup by Forsaken. The first time Maestro gets a nice surround and he just picks up. It looks like, very unfortunately for Maestro, the Mutalist just running into a pack of Marines and not killing any of the medevacs with units in them. Oh my goodness, look at this. We have 6 more barracks going down. How many barracks does he have in total? 6? Oh goodness. Well, that's a lot of barracks. You can see right there. He's oh man, producing so many units at a time. A lot of Banelings coming in. The Mutalist actually getting some good hits on these medevacs, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Some more Marines coming forward. The Mutalist taking huge amounts of hits. Banelings wasting themselves on the Marauders. Forsaken continually being cost effective here, picking off Baneling after Baneling after Baneling, and just crushing these Marines with a large amount of Marines. Zerglings with a large amount of Marines. Ooh, but it looks like, well, wow. It's amazing what you can do with like 10 Marines and a huge clump of medevacs. Some more Banelings morphing, kind of in a terrible position. More Mutalisks going down. Oh, this is so bad for Maestro. These Banelings are going to die very quickly. And SCV even in the fray. Oh, they're all going down. Will they finish? Will they be able to get the hits off they need? Oh, and a few hits, but another great pickup from Forsaken. Just going to be moving those back. And once again reinforcing. Wow, Maestro just morphing his Banelings in the absolute worst places. He really needs to be doing that a little bit farther back into his home, because they just keep getting picked off over and over and over again. And if we look at the units lost, oh, it's almost doubled. It's just so terrible for Maestro. Forsaken being so good in this game. Constant reinforcements, constant expanding. Some Zerglings coming in at this time. Just can't deal with the onslaught of Marines. More and more Medevacs. Medevacs just healing everything up. The good thing for Maestro is this base is mining. Throughout all these crazy engagements, the base continues to mine. But each time the attack happens, there are less Zerglings and more Marines. And so this sort of thing can happen where he just moves up and targets this hatchery. And it looks like the hatchery is going to go down. Oh, even a Manor Mule. He knows he's so far ahead. Oh, another Manor Mule. Here comes the drones. Drones kind of in a very bad position. A lot of them going down. Nice little scan going up on the high ground to see where those Banelings are, moving the Marauders forward. Another Baneling hit wasted on a Marauder. He is kind of clumped together. He needs to be careful, but once again, Baneling's morphing in a terrible, terrible position. I wonder if Forsaken's kind of regretting using these mules. They're not really doing anything at this time, but just walking around. Haven't even wasted any Banelings on them, so Maestro being good about that. But at this point, it looks like the game is essentially over. Forsaken just moving in, splitting his units continually, having tons of medevacs, and it's only 3 base to 5, and I can't see any way of Maestro coming back at this point. Some great stems, some great splits. There's the GG by Maestro. Forsake just giving him a number sign before GG. And yeah, just great play by Forsaken. So this was the semi-final match. Forsaken went on to the finals where he did lose, but he got 2nd place in the SC2 Improved Weekly, which is very, very impressive. So congratulations, Forsaken, for taking 2nd place win for Team NoN-eSports. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. We are NoN-eSports Official, so you can go to youtube.com/user/NoN-eSports Official. And there'll be a link in the description bar, so don't worry if you miss that or can't understand what I'm saying. Check it out anyway, subscribe, and also check out our website. We are a German team, as I've said in many of our videos, so just pop it into Google Chrome and do a translate. Or if you speak German, read it in German. It's even better. And finally, if you'd like to check out my own personal YouTube channel, you can go to youtube.com/user/CadoinkStudios. There'll be a link for that as well. And it would mean a lot if you checked out my videos and continue to subscribe, comment, like videos, and just support StarCraft 2 and esports in general. So, thank you very much. Once again, congratulations, Forsaken, for taking that great win.